The girl came to attend the engagement ceremony of her fiancé and her sister, only to discover that she and her sister were wearing identical dresses. At this moment, she realized she had been deceived, because the dress was a fake that her sister had given her yesterday, with the intention of publicly humiliating her. Just as her sister was about to make the girl take off the dress, the girl's flash-married husband suddenly arrived and stopped her. The stylist immediately recognized the man as the CEO, but when he saw the CEO giving him a signal, he understood that the CEO didn't want his identity to be exposed, so he lied and claimed he had misidentified him. This startled both the girl and the CEO, because the girl had always thought her husband was a beggar who scavenged trash. When the CEO learned that his wife had been slandered into wearing a fake dress, he instructed the stylist to authenticate the dress. The stylist said that this high-end dress was a one-of-a-kind limited edition, and that he had been fortunate enough to see the designer create it, so he could easily identify the real one with a glance. At this moment, the girl felt guilty, thinking that since her sister had deliberately given her the dress, it must be a fake. However, after the stylist inspected both dresses, he stated that the real dress had a one-of-a-kind diamond called the Skystar diamond, and concluded that the dress the girl was wearing was the genuine one. The girl was shocked to hear this. What she didn't know was that the CEO had already swapped the dresses. It turned out that just yesterday, the assistant had caught a security guard trying to steal a dress and interrogated him, only to discover that the mastermind behind the theft was the girl's sister. So, the CEO had played along with the scheme, ordering the security guard to pretend nothing had happened, and to give the fake dress back to the sister. The CEO was glad he had secretly placed the real dress in the girl's room in advance, to prevent her sister from carrying out her plan to humiliate the girl. However, the sister refused to believe that the dress she was wearing was a fake. When she heard the guests say that the real dress had been bought by the CEO for $300 million, and had been kept in a private museum, the sister publicly accused the girl of stealing it. As the guests began to believe the sister's claim, and assumed the girl had stolen the dress from the museum, the CEO couldn't help but step forward and speak out. He declared that the dress was not stolen, but had been a gift from him to his wife. Upon hearing this, the girl's former fiancé mocked him, claiming that not only was he a beggar who scavenged trash, but he was also a thief. He immediately ordered the security guards to arrest him and turn him over to the CEO. He even planned to take credit for it in front of the CEO. However, what he didn't realize was that the man he had ordered the guards to arrest was the CEO. Although the CEO knocked down the guards who tried to arrest him, the former fiancé, in a cowardly move, threatened the girl. Fearing for her safety, the CEO didn't dare to fight back, and was ultimately beaten by the group of security guards. The girl immediately kneeled, begging her sister to spare her husband, but the sister demanded that she publicly admit they had stolen the dress together, and in order to avoid angering the CEO, the sister insisted that she leave the Lin family, and be removed from the family tree along with her mother. The CEO was enraged by the sister's despicable actions, and publicly revealed his true identity as the CEO. He also confirmed that the dress was indeed a gift to his wife, so there was no theft involved. However, the sister still believed that he was pretending to be the CEO to clear his name, and the former fiancé insisted on handing him over to the CEO. Just then, the CEO's assistant arrived with reinforcements. Everyone finally believed that the beggar they had been mocking was, in fact, the CEO. The girl was stunned to learn that her husband was the CEO.